We ride around this ghost. If we show up, then we still have it. Yeah, we slide around.
He's heating up.
Yeah, we glowing up, but we still trapped, sitting high up on the stone. Put my foes out, got the world clapping. Yeah, we vibing up in this show. So your main girl in the private section. Yeah, we ride around this ghost. If we show up, then we still have it. Yeah, we slide around this coast. Yeah, we glowing up, but we still trapped, sitting high up on the stone. Put my foes out, got the world clapping. Yeah, we vibing up in this show. So your main girl in the private section. Yeah, glowing up, but we still trapped. That's how a nigga survives. Flowing out, got the crowd packed. Yeah, that's how a nigga provides. Y'all insta this, y'all snap that, y'all diss this, and they snap back. Another mass shooting in the headlines. I'm like, damn, where that attack at? Cause y'all think this about race. They font that shit in your face. It's like every day it's the same agenda. It's really not that hard to trace. Fuck it, we might as well face it. Accept it, whatever it's wrapped in. There'll come a day when they run out of grace. So me and my niggas stay trapping. Yeah, ride around this ghost. If we show up, then we still have it. Yeah, we slide around this coast. Yeah, we glowing up, but we still trapped, sitting high up on the stone. Put my foes out, got the world clapping. Yeah, we vibing up in this show. So your main girl in the private section. Hey, some would be too hard, wanted to be, and then what I became. Ended up going my own way, but I couldn't stay in my lane. Now if I'm honest, I've taken a liking to wearing these chains. They hold me down, make it easier when I start feeling the pain. Out of the overflow, your heart, they say your mouth speaks. Well, my heart must be fucked up, cause I can't speak and I can't sleep. So I stay woke in this daydream. Got shit to do, got the world to see. Got the same crew, got some new fleets. This an empire, fucking boutique, that's real. I only say what I feel, got a new plate with the same meal. On a new hype with the same chill. Y'all too fake, I stay real. Got cast down from heaven, but I'm too good to stay in hell. I don't know where the story ends, but I keep writing like oh well, oh well. Yeah, I keep writing like oh well, oh well. Yeah, hey, I don't know where the story ends, but I keep writing like oh well, oh well. Yeah, we ride around this ghost. If we show up, then we still have it. Yeah, we slide around this coast. Yeah, we glowing up, but we still trapped, sitting high up on the stone. Put my foes out, got the world clapping. Yeah, we vibing up in this show. So your main girl in the private section. Yeah, we ride around this ghost. If we show up, then we still have it. Yeah, we slide around this coast. Yeah, we glowing up, but we still trapped, sitting high up on the stone. Put my foes out, got the world clapping. Yeah, we vibing up in this show. So your main girl in the private section. Yeah. Check, check, 1, 2, ayy, check, check. I don't know if I can rap this shit. Yeah, ayy, yeah. Look at my wrist, yeah, it's poppin'. Took the whole family shopping. Funny that you always flexing. Just saw your car at the auction. Niggas on IG be stalking. All these girls, too many options. Act like I don't hear you talking. Drop it and they just come flocking. I just don't let they satin. Then got Gorilla Gang tatted. I went like it's automatic. Passing these niggas is tragic. Wearing all black with no magic. You just got green in your ice. They all stopped checking the facts, so I just stopped treating them nice. I see you looking, I see you watching. Wasn't too long ago, we was just talking. I'm sorry you hate me now, and I don't mean that I'm sorry for me. I'm just sorry for you, cause you won't get to see what a high king can do when he's given the chance to become what he knew he could. Not much just popping, oh, and I'm shocking. I'm just from Buffalo, I shouldn't make it. Was right by my auntie, but that woman hated me. Good at pretending for everyone faking it. Now I'm awake and I see why they made the choice to kick me out just as soon as I made the choice. Now I'm a king, yeah, that's the thing. Happens a lot. Fatherless kids, yeah, we come by the lot. Changing shit whether you like it or not. He would come like it or not. Look at my wrist, yeah, it's popping. Took the whole family shopping. Funny that you always flexing. Just saw your car at the auction. Niggas on IG be stalking. All these girls, too many options. Act like I don't hear you talking. Drop it media. Started my own shit, I don't think they feeling me. I just don't get it, so fuck it. I'm done with all this luck shit. Y'all think y'all scaring me, so I address it. But now all your niggas is running. All of your monsters just running. No talent, but your shit is funded. Now all y'all think y'all real funny. Clown flexing with that fake money. Can't buy shit without real shit, so you rent shit cause you real dummy. Just invest in mine like a broker. New money coming soon. Yo, last post got like 50,000, but you can't fill the fucking room. Look at my wrist, yeah, it's popping. Took the whole family shopping. Funny that you always flexing. Just saw your car at the auction. Niggas on IG be stalking. All these girls, too many options. Act like I don't hear you talking. Drop it and they just come flocking. I just don't let they sat in. Then got Gorilla Gang tatted. I went like it's automatic. Passing these niggas is tragic. Wearing all black with no magic. You just got green in your ice. They all stop checking the facts, so I just stopped treating them nice.
The following program is rated TV MANOC. It contains a big pair of nuts directly on your chin. It is intended only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
What else are you hiding from me?
Nothing. Frank, I'm trying to talk to you about business.
What's behind that door?
That's the neighbor's door. That's
Hold
why
this,
it's all...
hold this way.
Stop, Frank. Listen, man, I didn't want to have to be constantly cleaning toilets.
What are you doing here? Go to the fucking gym.
Holy shit!
Obesity is epidemic in the United States and a major cause of death.
What is fat activism?
I, a fat person, am sharing my own lived experience.
Pizza is a vegetable.
Your fat phobia is your problem.
It is not my place as a smaller-bodied white man to comment on it.
Radical body positivity.
What can men do against such reckless hate?
There's only one man who can help me.
This is for you new people. I only have one rule. Everyone fights, no one quits.
This day we fight!
Me llamo Papi Swole.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
What's going on, beaches, booshes, bustas, hustlers, and yo-hoes? It's your boy Papa Swolio back with another episode, and today's episode of the Beastcast is brought to you as powered and sponsored by Eversting K2, flexing on all you bees. Welcome to the fam. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Maybe welcome to the fam. If you join us over at swolenormousx.com, we got a lot of Swole fam peeps tuning in, and of course, a lot of you are enjoying today's Swole After Dark. Today, I am rocking the red GTTFG hat, and I am proud to announce I am rocking some of the latest merch, Body by Breast Milk, absolutely based. Go and check it out over on papaswolio.com. We are coming off fresh from yesterday's episode, and it was extra exciting yesterday because we dropped some new merch, and that is the brand new Swollen design, Let It Grow, and that is an absolute 10 out of 10.
I give it a
10 out of 10.
A 10. A fucking
That's
10.
a 10 out of 10 design, so go and check that out. And of course, we have some cool specials, so papaswolio.com for all the new merch and the latest drops. So go and let it grow in the right way. You got to get that on a mug. Look at that. The blue and white mug looks great. Perfect. Perfect for the holiday season. All right. That being said, let's get into the first sweet action. Let's get into that tip because we got some merch to get on into.
Just an inch. It's cold outside.
All right. First, we got From It's Just Tandy. It's Just Andy with 2 T's and 2 Y's. It's Just Andy. How do you have competition for that screen name? I want It's Just Andy. No, I want It's Just Andy. All right, fine. I'm going to put 2 T's and 2 Y's at the end. Aren't you unique and special, Andy? All right, that being said, at least Andy has some amazing taste in merch. I'm a barbell girl and Teenage Mutant Lifting Turtles. Caption says, I'm a barbell girl in a barbell world. When you start your journey in the gym, you think all you'll need is a water bottle. You see memes of when you first started going to the gym versus 3 years after, etc., and you never really understand them until you start living it. I'm only about 6 months into my journey and already I've gotten 2 gym bags, multiple wrist straps, and various other gym accessories. And now the piece, or the piece, the pied de résistance, the Swolenormous tees. 2 Swolenormous tees to add to the collection. So awesome. And I do concur. I understand. Aww. I understand what you mean when it comes to gear. I understand. I have a lot of it. I do know what you mean. All right, fam. You know it. You love it. Maybe you hate it. You dread it. You don't know what to expect. It's up. It's down. It's all around. Hopefully, it's edible. Hopefully, there's some steak. It's time to rate my meal. All right.
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
If you don't have steak on your plate, then you ain't white. I don't know if that makes sense. We'll have to ask Joe to confirm. Eileen Hancock. Fish, chips, and peas. Chips and peas done in the air fryer. Fish, chips, and peas. So this is definitely not in this country. Fish meaning fish, chips meaning fries, and peas, unfortunately, meaning peas. So I think, Eileen, I think you're going to be on, I'm putting you on probation. I'm just going to put you on probation. I know. Aww. I think this is the reason why we left. This is why my ancestors got in a boat and said, we the fuck out of here. All right. We're out. We're going to go. You see that place west? You don't see it. You just see that horizon, that flat, looks like a blue line. You can't see shit. There's like sharks and sea monsters out there. Me and a few of my buds, we're done with this shit. We're going to get on a wooden boat and we're just going to go left. We're going to go west. You know where the sun goes and it sets and it disappears and who knows if anything's over there. Yeah, we're going to go that way because of you and your fucking peas and shit. All right, Eileen. All right. Could it be worse? I think it could be worse. Could it be better? It could be better. All right, Eileen. We'll let it slide a little bit. But that's a slap on the wrist. That's like a jaywalking. It's like, don't walk across the street when you shouldn't. It's just stupid. But, I mean, you did it. There wasn't really anyone around. Okay, Eileen. We'll just let it slide. I don't feel like the paperwork. Jordan Demian. Venison tenderloin that my son harvested. Oh, look at that knife. It's a beautiful knife. That's... Come on, man. There you go. That's what our ancestors fought and died for. That's what they ate moldy bread and dealt with scurvy for that. That's what I'm talking about. Good for you, Jordan. Thank you for making my chub rock hard again. Mike Deshane, $7.99 a pound, top round steak and a potato. Potatoes. You boil them, mash them, put them in a stew. Filthy habits. Very nice, Mike. Very nice. Steak and potatoes. We dig. We dig. Get in my belly. I'm down. I'm down. I would say, looks like you're maybe eating. I don't know where you're eating this. But, Mike, come on, dude. Even if you're at work or you're at home, I really hope you're not eating at home with a paper plate and a plastic fucking fork. So if you're at work, just get a plate and a fork, wash it. But if you're at home, fuck you, Mike. If you're at home, don't be like, I just don't want to do any of the dishes. Come on. You don't want to eat the fucking plastic wax coating on the plate. You don't want a hot potato on that kind of shit. Get yourself a fork. You're a man. Eat like one. Get yourself a fucking fork and a real plate. All right. Neil Bosher or Bosher. Steak and eggs after deadlift day. I like everything that I heard right there. Let's go. I like everything. I like it all. Yeah, fuck yeah. Yeah, Freddie. Hell yeah. There you go. There you go. Neil Bosher. Or Bosher. Fuck yeah, dude. Chub me up. Rigard. I think either... Is that Righard? All right. Either Righard is a nickname. Either it's Richard and it's just spelled R-I-G-H because, I don't know. That's just one of those fancy spellings. Or it's Riard. George Randall. Righard. I like you, Righard. I'm going to call you Righard just because of what it says. Monday night, and that looks like Monday night meat. Dun, 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 dun. Look at that feast. Dick George. We'll call you Dick George. All right, gorillas. Good. I see meat. Scotty Edie. Oh, Scotty doesn't know that steak exists, apparently. So, fuck you, dude. A Nutella Pop-Tart sandwich. Scotty loves diabetes. Scotty doesn't know how to eat healthy. Scotty doesn't know that is disgusting. Bro, that's nasty, man. That's nasty. A Nutella Pop-Tart sandwich. Fuck, man. You better be 6% body fat and just shredded to the bone. If you ain't absolutely piped and pumped, you ain't deserve that shit. And that's nasty, man. At least make it good. At least make it good. All right, let's get into a couple Swole fam posts. Please save us, Papa Swolio. I get it. Join the fam. Download the app once you join the fam over at swolenormousx.com. It's amazing. You're going to love it. We have so much inside Swolenormous X, and we're always adding. We dropped a new yoga class yesterday. We got new merch. All the details are over there on the website. But, of course, we talk about the app many a time here on the show. And I really encourage all of you, if about your fitness and you want to make those changes, well, I'll tell you what. Yeah, and this is only just like the homepage. So we got a lot of things at the top. We got all the programs. We got everything that you can ever imagine, and all the scrolly McScrollies, all the sections. We got all the content. We have the amazing community section. So it's awesome over there. And if you are slacking on making those positive changes, you know, that's on you, especially if you've been listening to the podcast for, some of you have been listening to it for a couple months. A lot of you have been listening to it for a few years and you're still fucking around. If that's you, just make this the last time you hear me say that, because you've probably popped in and out and heard me say that many times. But it's time for you to make those changes and start now. It's November. You don't want to wait till January 1st. And it's getting old saying the same old shit, but I know people think like that. There's just a lot of stuff going on. You have a lot of obligations because you fill your fucking plate up to the brim because you think you have to do certain things because everyone else does them and everyone's just bleeding themselves dry. So anyway, focus on your shit, focus on your health, join the Swole fam today, get started. And then if you lock your shit down during fuck your resolution season, if you lock your shit down now, it's going to be coasting. You're going to be coasting in the new year. Start now when everyone's just running around like a chicken with their head cut off, eating shit, fucking off. Oh, it gets dark earlier now. Who cares? Go to the fucking gym. No one cares. Stop crying. You're fat. You can't see your dick. Jeremy says the collection is growing. Wow, dude. My goodness.
Wow.
Look at that. Very nice. You definitely don't need any Swole fam cards, that's for sure. Faf, no excuses. A couple Faf cards. Absurd gains. Got some clutch ones. Raise the floor. That's a nice one. Swole season. Make America Swole. Look at that. Jeremy, what a Swole slut. Look at those stickers. Looking good, dude. Absolutely epic collection. Epic collection. Joanne says meal prep or work out. So due to a few things going down today, I didn't get a meal prep done. I will not have time in my schedule over the next week to make the healthy meals I wanted as needed. Tomorrow I have a workout session planned from 6 to 7 a.m. I could just get stuck in and do 2 meal preparation in that time. Typos, obviously, whatever. But then I won't have any time to get my workout in. So you see, I'm debating what to give the morning to, meal prep or work out. Okay, so this is not the issue. The issue is originally, due to a few things going down, I didn't get meal prep done. So you didn't prioritize your meal prep. So what the problem with your issue is, your one thing cascades. You can't have habits and things that cascade. You got to swap things out. You have to adjust and pivot. You need to have backup and different habit blocks, things that you slide around. Because if one thing doesn't get done, then everything else gets pushed back. Then you just get back to it. Make a small meal, like do both. I mean, I don't really know what the original thing is. Due to a few things going down today, and get meal prep done. Okay. Why don't you just do both? I will not have time in my schedule over the next week to make the healthy meals I wanted as needed. How so? I'm just curious. I don't know the details, and this is not a live question, so I'm just putting this out there. I don't see how that matters. You can cook so much food in such a short period of time. I think the key thing here is what you said. I will not have time in my schedule over the next week to make the healthy meals I wanted as needed. Well, maybe you don't have time to make the meals that you wanted to make, but now you make different meals. That's much easier. I don't know. So maybe you plan to make some special recipe and you want to pay full attention to it. Okay. Put a bunch of ground beef, put a bunch of rice, put a bunch of potatoes, put a bunch of chicken breasts, put a bunch of hard-boiled eggs, put a bunch of, just boom, do a bunch of it. And this week you're eating a certain way. This week you're eating a little bit more consistent or simpler than the flair that you normally do. So what? Do both. I don't know what the first issue was with not getting it done the day before. Or do part of it. You don't have to do 10 meals. You could do 3. Just do a little bit now and do a little bit later. Sometimes the amount takes longer just because of how you're cooking it, or maybe you don't have a big enough pan or something. Priorities get done. Priorities get done. Oh, there we go. That's pretty good.
Emotional, damn it!
All right, just some thoughts, Joanne. Maybe Joanne can follow back up, but that was in the app, so in the community section. So if you guys want to follow up with that, please do so. Leslie says, you know what time it is? 3 a.m. workout time. Jesus Christ. I was freezing my tits off this morning, 36 degrees Fahrenheit. But once the blood got pumping, the sweat started dripping. It was a great morning to do another full body session. No excuses. Get out there and get it, fam. That's.
All you can do can. Because stickers.
There you go. Leslie swinging that big fem dong. Leslie's hanging dong out there in the snow. Freezing nips. Rock hard nips for sure. Thanks for sharing. That is cold. That is cold. That is cold. It's going to be, we're getting I guess the cold spell. I guess everyone is like freezing elsewhere. We're going to get cold next week. Next Tuesday, it's going to drop. It's going to be it's going to be 72 during the day. This week is a little bit cooler, low 80s and then mid 80s. And then it's going to drop into the mid 70s. Oh, goodness. Not that cold. We'll get into the 50s at night. Ooh, nippies. Let's get into some questions. If you got questions, drop them in the comments. Hashtag Ask Papa Swolio. Ketcha82. Papa Swolio, good core exercise to get better abs. Load them. Bend sideways. Crunch. Do some leg raises, flexing and extending the spine. Rotation. There's a lot of good exercises. XLA719. What are some of your favorite bicep tricep exercises? Curls, extensions, cable extensions, one arm, two arm, pullover extensions, dips, JM presses. preacher curls, 2 arm, 1 arm, reverse preacher curls. I mean, these are boring questions. You know, what's your favorite? Again, you got to, you know what? I understand people. What's your favorite? You guys got to figure out what your favorite is. That's what's more important with training. A lot of people want to know what my favorite is. I get it. I appreciate it. The key is figuring out what your favorite is. And if you find your favorite, cool, then go all in and crush that one. But it doesn't really matter what my favorite is. And we talked about this yesterday or the day before, that you have to figure out what exercises work best for your body. A lot of people have certain, well, everyone's going to be different. And we were talking about that with JM presses. I was saying how on the Smith machine, I just don't prefer it because my elbow feels better on a different machine that I use, which is great. And if I have 100% confidence on this other machine, I don't worry about the position, because if I have sensitivity with a movement, no matter how much I might wish that fit my body, or I liked it better, or it felt better, in the back of my head, I'm trying not to get injured. I want to send it on a movement. So I want to be really confident with the movements. I want to pick something that I can really go all out on. I'll get more out of it. So you got to find out what that is for you. Louis 92, Baba Swole, I need to lose 40 pounds. Is fasting the best route? No, but you can lose 40 pounds if you're in a caloric deficit and you're lifting weights and you're metabolizing sugar and stuff. You improve your insulin sensitivity. You need to lose 40 pounds. You probably need to lose more than that. You just need to put on muscle too. So you don't want to just get skinny fat. So you should be lifting weights. I don't know what you're trying to do this for, but you need to start eating better, exercising, lifting weights, and get rid of inflammation. There's a lot of ways you can do it. So I can list off all these things for toxins in your environment and all that, but all right. Emily Dance's Ballroom. Papa Swole, thoughts on Pilates reformer classes for resistance training? I think it depends on what you really want. So a lot of people that do Pilates, I think I'm like anything else. There's benefits and there's adaptations with yoga and Pilates and full range of motion strength training, doing mobility like Jefferson curls and sissy squats. Like there's a lot of benefits to these things. You're definitely not going to put on a ton of muscle doing Pilates. You can build strength and you can build endurance and mobility and range of motion, flexibility. So there's different adaptations. It's obviously not the same kind of adaptations as strength training in terms of hypertrophy. So there's different things when it comes to strength. So with Pilates, for example, the whole point of building muscle is to be doing more weight for more reps. And the stronger that you get, the more weight you'll be able to do for 4 more reps. With a lot of these things with Pilates, you're moving your body weight. Yeah, you could do resistance and there's bands and there's other things, but a lot of it is more body weight. So in that sense, you are doing a lot more in terms of, it's just a different type of adaptation when you're doing lower intensity, longer duration, right? You're holding positions or pulsing or doing different types of damage and feeling sore. And so there's a lot of benefits, but at the same time, what are you trying to get? If you really want to improve your physique and your shape, and I would do a combination. I would do some serious strength training, and you could always add in Pilates. If you want to do Pilates instead of doing yoga, I'm not against you doing some sort of mobility, but you should be doing some focused mobility. And again, you'll get any adaptation that you subject your body to if you subject your body to that adaptation and then progress that adaptation over time. Your body will adapt to it. If you punch a soft surface and then you slowly made that surface harder, then, you're building up calluses, you're building up bone, your bones get thicker and denser, and you're able to start punching trees full out, over time. You deaden the nerves and stuff like that. So same thing with resistance training. If you're adding more weight and more reps over time, your muscles get bigger, your body gets stronger, you get more muscular. And there's a limit as how big you're going to get, because you're not going to be able to push 10,000 pounds. It's just not possible for the human body. You're not going to be able to generate that much force. So again, if you want to be better at swimming, then guess what? You got to practice swimming. So what is the adaptation that you want? For example, if you want to get better at swimming, you need to do swimming. If you want to improve your cardio and your cardiovascular capacity, there's a lot of different ways you can do that. You can do an air bike, you can do a rower, you can do swimming, you can do a Versa climber, you can do you go out biking, you can do running, you can do plyometrics, you can use a treadmill, you can use a Woodway curved manual treadmill, you can do sled work, you can do a lot of stuff for your cardio. There's a lot of different things you can do. So it really depends on what you want the adaptation, and then you can choose the preference in the manner and the way you want to do it. So it's like when it comes to building muscle, you could build muscle with dumbbells. But you don't have to be, dumbbells are the best way to do it. You can't do anything else but dumbbells. That's just ridiculous. I enjoy using a lot of my gym machines now, but I still do free weight exercises, and I predominantly did free weights for the majority of what I did. I've just been enjoying a lot of machine work now. And I've gone through my phases where I'll do kettlebells a lot, and then I integrate and I take the best parts of different things, and I focus on different things when I feel like focusing on those things. So you can build muscle with a lot of different tools. You can build muscle with machines. You can build muscle with cables. You can build muscle with bands. You can build blah, 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 blah. Certain ones are going to be more easy than others, or more efficient, I should say. If you're really focused on, I want to build muscle, then there might be certain principles that you should be focusing on. And most of the time, that's what people want. They want the benefits of having more muscle mass. They just don't want to train hard and lift weights because it's boring. So they want to do group classes and then Pilates and do this. Oh, okay. Most people want more muscle mass. And then if you combine them, then you get even more benefits. But you'll definitely stay lean with stuff like that, with Pilates and so on and so forth. But you're just not going to put on as much. You might not have the shape that you want. But it could be very good for rehab and for isolating certain body parts. It's not easy either, especially if you push yourself and do, All right, Bill Leaper, Papa Swole, who does your programming? Does it change from week to week? I do my own programming. Join us, swolenormousx.com, and you can do it too. It does not change from week to week. No, you shouldn't change your programming from week to week. So if anything, I rotate certain exercises. So I'll have certain exercises in my rotation. So I'll train certain body parts like upper, lower, or doing torso and arms and legs. And I'll have certain workouts that I rotate through. And then I'll have maybe one or two different options for chest. So I have usually like 3 or 4 exercises that are in the rotation. And then depending on what I feel like in the moment, because sometimes maybe it's raining really hard and I don't feel like training over here because the Smith machines kind of flooded that area and I wanted to do an exercise, whatever it was, who knows. So I might go over here and do something else outside, or I'll do something inside. So, okay, it's an upper body day. I'll do, maybe flies inside with my cables or something else, because I might choose an exercise or 2 different exercises because of their proximity, because I can do this one machine and then right next to it, I'll do the other one. Like I have this incline chest press machine right next to a T-bar row. So I have chest near back, so I can do an upper body day really efficiently. And, I'll pair certain things up accordingly. So anyway, you want to keep your programming consistent so you can make those adaptations over time. If you change your programming up too often, then you're not going to see the benefits. You change too much. Let's see. This is from earlier. I just happened to scroll up and see it. From Sterling. Papa Swole, I might be losing my fucking mind, but the same weight on different cable machines feels different. Maybe something to do with the pulley system, or am I high on something? No, I mean, all the pulley systems are different. It's the size of the pulleys. It's how many pulleys there are. So, some machines will have stacks and it'll say 1, 2, 3, 4. Some will say they go by 20. Some go by 10. So it has to do with everything. Just remember, the translated resistance has to do with how the quality of the pulleys, the bearings, right? The angle of the pulleys, the difference between the pulleys. Maybe, all the mechanics behind that. You have more pulleys, it's going to make the stack lighter. If you look at some positions of things that people do and the stack barely moves, like you're not moving the weight that much. So You can't go by, like if you're using, when you're doing progressive overload, you have to go based off using that, trying to, it's really that proximity to failure. That's really all it is. So if you have to add more weight on one of the stacks, just know that on that stack, this is your 7 rep max or your 8 rep max or whatever it is. Like this is, I can get 8 reps on this weight. That's really what matters. And then the next time you do that machine, relative to that weight, because they're going to be different. So there's a difference between what it says on the outside and then how it translates to the way you're doing it, and how that angle translates to the muscle that you're working. Because just because it might say, oh, this is, 150 pounds, it translates to 130 pounds, but the way you're lifting it, the angle or that weight isn't hitting the muscle because the pulley is too high or too low. So then you have the actual mechanical tension that your muscle receives that's based on your form and stuff like that. So yeah, all this stuff is different. Chicho 0391 Papa Swole, whey protein better with water or any milk trying to lose weight? Well, this has nothing to do with you losing weight. If you want to lose weight, then you have to stop eating garbage, start lifting weights, get rid of inflammatory foods, do an elimination diet, join the Swole fam, start walking more, get better sleep, make sure you supplement properly. You need to improve your habits. So if you want less calories, then don't mix it with milk, but chances are you're going to have there's other issues with lower quality whey protein. They could be high in heavy metals. This is just not going to help you lose weight. What you need to do, it's more about what you're cutting out than what to add. Because if I say you're going to eat milk, you're going to have milk, then you're pretty much just having a, pasteurized milk that can cause its own problems. So, I mean, I don't have it with milk. I don't have it with raw milk. I just don't mix my protein with milk when I have it. But that's not that's not what's going to help you lose weight. And let's be honest, you want to lose weight. You don't really want to lose weight. You want to be less fat. And then, I guarantee you don't have muscle, man. Like just from your picture. So understand that you need to put on muscle. Put on muscle because it'll help you metabolize more fat. It'll help you get leaner. If you're strength training and lifting weights, it's going to help you get leaner. So people just try to eat less and then starve themselves, and then there's nothing to lean down to. Why Michael, Papa Swolio, I'm looking for a job at a gym and planning to get a degree in fitness and nutrition. Do you think it's a career path worth taking? Any recommendation? That's a good question. It's different with my perspective now and what time it is, literally, in terms of what you should be focusing on. Things like fitness and training programs, nutrition, people are always going to need the personal one-on-one, but I'd be very much more focused on getting involved with, if you're looking for a career, like a degree, I would get more involved with AI, dude. I think you're a dude. I mean, if you're looking for something, you want to be on the cutting edge of stuff. It's very easy for people, or a lot of people are using AI for programming, for nutrition, for strength training. It's not that great, but honestly, you need to make sure that you're future proofing. If you love fitness and you want to be hands-on, if you're that type of person, then go for it. But just understand what the challenges are that are coming up. Like, what's your long-term vision? You might not know. I don't know what your experience in the fitness industry is to this point. In terms of getting a degree, I would not get a degree. 4 years? No, I would not do that. I have one. I have exercise science, but I wouldn't do it now. I did that in 2001 to 2005, so I wouldn't do it now. So I wouldn't get into debt like that. You could be a personal trainer, just get a certification. You don't need a college degree. And having a degree and having a certification doesn't mean you know what you're talking about. So the experience of being able to, and it's not just experience, it's being able to translate that into other people. And then you say you're looking to get a job at a gym. So a gym, what you can do and what you'll have at a gym, if you're a personal trainer for a gym, new members will usually get a session with a personal trainer, and then you get given clients, and then you make X amount per hour. The gym will take the majority because they're giving you clients, and you'll get experience. That's what I did when I started. I worked at Bally's when there were Bally's. There might be one or two left. And then LA Fitness bought them. So that's what I did, because I had a degree. I had top certification. I had all the stuff, but gyms wanted experience. I didn't have experience yet. So I just got an entry-level training job, and then I started training private clients, and then I went private. So it worked out really well. I was right by a huge, very, very very, 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 very wealthy area. And I was at a Bally's. So I had a lot of people that lived in that area that came over there and like, oh, do you train outside? Or I have a friend, or I have this, or, and then on the DL, like, sure. And then I started training them in condos, and then you train in a condo, and you bring business cards, and people see you training someone else in their condo gym. And these are big, like, brand new apartments. So they have full gyms and stuff like that. And then they see you training in there. A lot of places now, they have their own, like a gym, like a company will contract and have trainers there and stuff like that. So depends on where it is, but a lot of them, it's just a gym, and then you could bring a trainer in and stuff like that. And then someone says, oh, you train here? Do you have cards? And then you hand out a business card, and then someone gets your number, and then you have another client in that building, and then you have two clients there, and So anyway, that was a little, but it depends on where you live. It depends on where you live. If you live in a good area for it, there are a lot of places that people that have money. They have money all the time. So even when there's ups and downs in the economy and stuff, there are always areas where luxury is available. Concentrate areas, cities and metropolitan areas, and especially down in Florida, in South Florida, there's so much of it. There's an abundance and overabundance. Dusty Dud says, just get a certification. I agree. You don't need a degree. I don't know if you meant certification and you just said degree, but you don't need a degree. Don't do that. Don't get into crazy debt. Just get a certification. And if anything, look, you get a certification and start training at a gym. And then if you do it for a year or so, and then if you like it, you'll keep going, and then you'll figure out the next step for you. That's really what you should do. If you're interested, like, you're asking me if I think it's a career path worth taking. So I'm going to ask you, if you're still watching live, why are you asking me what I think? It's worth taking. We're talking about a career. Like, are you doing it to make a ton of money? Because it depends on what you do. It's hard to make a lot of money in fitness and nutrition unless you're doing certain things. Are you opening a gym? Or you can, and I say it's hard, but it's hard to leverage your time, because it's like a massage therapist. You're not getting paid unless you're giving massages. So if you're a personal trainer, you're not getting paid unless you're personal training, unless you have stuff like you're doing it online, or you do other things on the side, and if you really like it, and that's why if you get a certification, cool, under $1,000, few $100 plus travel or doing whatever you're doing to get it. And then you can see if you like it, and then you'll take it from there. You got to get like a CPR, right? CPR certification, whatever it is. All right. Balls deep. Cool. Good questions.
That's
so just to follow up with that, you're asking me, do I think it's a career path worth taking? That's not a question to ask me. That's the question that you should be asking yourself. I should be asking that for you. Is that something that you want to do? And if you don't know, then do it. I recently lost my job. I'm looking for a new career path. Fitness has been my passion for the past 7 years. Well, look, you're not going to know. You're not going to know unless you try it. So yeah, get a certification. I forgot a few questions. What questions? Yeah, get the certification. Then if you like it, then you like it. If not, not. LET, your thoughts on having, or ask again, because we're moving on. Thoughts on having a short time frame for eating? You don't want to you want to rush food. Oh yeah, I do see that. All right, we'll just take these questions. A short time frame for eating. You could slow your breath down and do it like, a couple deep breaths and relax your nervous system before you eat. You want to be relaxed. You don't want to be stressed out and like shoveling food in your mouth. You want to be chill. So whatever you can do to relax yourself and have everything prepared. So if you have more context, that would help. Hog Wild. Just got to drop the questions again. All right, last one. Let's see. Swole, you had a patella tendon rebuilt. Got to skip legs till physio is done. I was doing maximum Swole upper lower the past year. What split would you run if you were in my shoes? I don't wear shoes really. So, had patella tendon rebuilt. What split? You got to skip legs? What do you mean? So what are we talking about here? I was doing upper lower. Yeah, I have to skip legs for a year. What split would I do if I were in your shoes? So instead of upper lower, you're doing upper, 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 and upper. Like, what do you mean? You can't train legs, so train everything else. What split would I do? What split would I do? I would still be, you don't want to know. I would still be training my fucking legs. I'd be doing adductor work. I'd be doing abductor. You don't need your patella for those. I'd be doing every single leg exercise I could do for all the muscles without irritating or injuring or making whatever, it worse. I'd be putting I put my leg in a fucking cast and then do like adductors. I do whatever I could. So I'm not the right person to ask. Of course, I know how the body works and how my body will recover and what I can and can't do or should and shouldn't do. But if you're doing upper lower and you can't train legs, then guess what? You're doing upper. Okay, I'm in a full leg splint and can't do leg movements. So I'm not trying to be, I'm moving on to balls deep. Like, what do you mean? You can't do legs, train upper body. I'm in a full leg splint, can't do leg movements and do upper body. What split can you do? Upper. Do push, do pull, do anything that you can do. Right? That's always the case. If someone's paralyzed from the waist down or from the upper, whatever it is, right? You always do what you can do with whatever you have, right? Didn't know if a push-pull would be more effective. Yeah, I mean, you don't have to just do upper and then rest. Like, if that's all you can do and you can't do anything with your groin or anything like that, a full leg splint? I mean, then do push-pull. Just so you're not bored, so you could train more often. Because then you could do push. I don't know. You could do a 3. I don't know. Do whatever you want. You're going to have to find that. You're going to have to figure that out. Right? Stiff leg deadlift. Yeah, I mean, look, you could do reverse hypers. All right. Let's do a couple videos and then let's see what's in the Balls Deep folder. We got 2 and then we will wrap up. We got this one. It's called... We'll do the shorter one first. It's called Fat Phobia Ruins Lives.
What's in the box?
Anytime they see somebody that is big, especially when they're in the hospital, doctors tend to do this thing where they go out their way to attribute everything that they are going to the fact that they are a big person. You go to the hospital, you tell them, hey, I'm having sleep problems, and honestly, I'm coughing up way too much phlegm and my throat's always sore. They look you in the eye and tell you, you know what? You've had one too many burgers and hot dogs. I don't know what to tell you. Stop drinking syrup. They don't run no tests. They don't do nothing. They just write you a prescription of you need to lose weight. You've been having an allergic reaction for the past month and a half. They don't run no tests. They don't do nothing for you. They tell you, hey,
you're eating garbage. Of course you have an allergic reaction. What do you think obesity is? What do you think obesity? Obesity is an allergic reaction to the environment you put your body in. Your body is having a violent reaction to eating all that garbage, and it's resulted in you being more horizontal than you are vertical.
Just go ahead and eat some greens, baby. I might be the type of people knowing the stories that I hear, but I know some folks in healthcare, they tell me the craziest of stories. One of my homegirls, she tells me, like, hey, this one patient, she walks in. Take a breath, dude. It turns out she tore her ACL probably like a week ago. She goes to the doctor. She said, hey, my hip hurts, my knee hurts. I don't know what's going on. Can you help me out? They go hit her with the, you're a little bit overweight. If you lose like 30 pounds, the pain might go away. She tore her ACL.
Can you imagine how fat this person was that they couldn't see the swelling for an ACL tear? I call bullshit on that. 30 pounds? I guarantee it was like 100 pounds. Okay. This girl tore her ACL. First off, what probably happened is they didn't look, MRIs aren't free. So you're going to have to go get an MRI. So they'll probably say, well, you should probably lose some weight. Like, we could schedule an MRI. It's going to cost X amount. And the person's probably just, no, I don't get an MRI. And like, well, they didn't help me. They just told me to lose weight. It's like, well, they can't just like, this is what's going on in your, they close their eyes and just put both hands over your patella and then just gather the information through their hands. You have a partial ACL tear on the distal tip. You know, get the fuck out of here. So if they can't, look, if you tear your ACL, you have that kind of swelling and inflammation. You can see it, obviously. If you're morbidly obese, you're already swollen. You can't even tell that someone has an ACL tear, which is, yeah, I call bullshit on that story. You have to lose like 30 pounds. Yeah, I'm sure that person was like 450. You know, you got to lose 100 pounds. You can't just miss, wow, your ACL's torn. Your leg is a balloon. And if you're that fat, you can't tell because your legs are already balloons. I got bullshit. Yeah, Ellie says, that's not something easily missed. My husband tore both ACLs and it was pretty clear. But he wasn't fat, he was fit. Yeah, if you have a human body and you tear your leg, like it is like, you don't see a knee. It's just, it's swollen. All right, trans scholar. It gets worse, fam. But wait, there's more. We got a throwback after the swole card, so nobody go nowhere.
Is there a medical definition, a biological definition of girl or boy?
I would never advise a teacher to include a biological medical definition of boy and girl. If you're going to do that, then you need to use the terms assigned male at birth or assigned female at birth. If we want to talk honest, quote unquote, I don't use this term because it's so disgustingly right wing at this moment, but I am technically biologically a male, but I am legally a female.
How do you think teachers should handle the question of a kid asking what is a girl or what is a boy?
You can define what being a boy and girl is, but you don't limit people's definition of what it means to have a gender to a boy and a girl. Because there are some kids who are gender nonconforming and gender non-binary who do not see themselves. Mm-hmm. I'm talking about people who are on a gender variant spectrum, mm-hmm. who identify as genderqueer, who identify as gender nonconforming, non-binary, who use they, them pronouns, who might not use pronouns at all. Mm-hmm. This
is mental cardio. This is mental cardio. This is to the point where I feel my heart rate just rising because of what this person's yapping. All right, let's finish this.
Kids deserve a comprehensive gender and sex education just as much as any kind of trans or cisgender student who identifies as boy or girl.
Should we have a word for people who have a male reproductive system versus a female reproductive system?
I'm not going to answer that. What I fear doing that is making myself out to be this person who is like, who the right wing can call themselves like indoctrinators. Like, that's not what my job is here. My role is to advocate. It's not to tell people exactly the roadmap, because it's actually a collective community movement that's made by many different trans people, many different allies, and many different teachers.
Right. Yeah, guys, like, right. Holy shit. Wow. All right, let's move on. Hashtag get swole for a chance to win today's swole card. Let's give it away. And then we got a throwback. Let's fucking go. Let's go. Get swole, baby. That was insane. That was a lot. That was a lot of bullshit. Come on now. Get swole. Who dropped it? I don't think, did I? Maybe I didn't announce. We got a winner today. It is, landed right on it. It is Miss Lacey. Have you heard of her? Miss Lacey Hughes Carrots. God, you guys with the underscores and the fucking carrots. Oh, my God. Congratulations. Send us an email to support@swolenormous.com. Swole card 3470 in the subject, your mailing address, and the body of the email. I see a comment. Lacey says, my knee is fucked and not fixable aside from a replacement, just wear and tear. I said replace it and they wanted to do other crap, pissed me off, and I set out to burn it up. It no longer bothers me. Lacey's like, yeah, my knee is fucked. I just keep doing it. I just keep on training. And my knee has reformed around the injury, and I've created a new knee. And the new knee has taken over the old knee, and I no longer feel the old knee. That's like, you get to a point where you're like, yeah, my knee just moves differently, and I'm just going to get it really strong. You learn, seriously, okay, with everyone that does like adaptive training, I'm not just talking about people. Think about it. If you have any kind of like physical disability, you have to work around it, right? So it's the same thing. It's the same thing as when you have an injury. You kind of have like, I don't want to say a disability, but your body has to find a new ability around that limitation or with that limitation. So train your mobility, train your stuff, but you might have to move a little differently. Maybe you got a little scar tissue. It's like, okay, do you have to cut in there with a knife, or can you just work on inflammation and mobility and strength training around it and work with it? A lot of times it's just worth, like for me, sometimes, like honestly, sometimes, I work through, and sometimes you go through and you have an injury or you have something that bothers you a little bit. So you back off and pull off a little bit. But, do you want to get in there and like, for me, sometimes it's like, do I want to go in there and like go get an MRI or do something and then cut into something, or do I want to just maybe not, I don't know, maybe I just won't put 7 plates on a hack squat. That's kind of where I'm at. Maybe I just don't do 6 plates or 7 plates on a certain hack squat machine. Maybe I just drop it and maybe I do 8 to 12 reps instead of like 4 to 5. Like, you start finding maybe like where your limitations are, or where you kind of draw the line. Like, okay, maybe I won't train. I noticed that the few times where I've had issues, it's when I just kind of go, I do that volume creeps up, or I just go a little bit too heavy and the reps come too low. And it's like, find that sweet spot where you can really execute properly. You could push yourself, full confidence. And then if you find certain things or certain styles of training, it might just not be the exercise. It can be just the load that you're using. It just, it isn't something that you should be doing anymore. You got to train, you got to adapt and train based on where you are and where you're heading, and make sure you don't train how you used to be. I don't train the same way that I did when I was 20. I'm not going to do the same things or try the same things that I would have tried when I was 25 or 30. And you have to adjust. You get smarter, and you take hey, over the course of my life, this is what I like. This is how I feel good. This is the best way to achieve this, to maintain this now. And usually the way it is, like the information that you should be gathering, I look at this and I look at the way that I'm training now. I wish I trained like this when I was younger. I think I would have benefited tremendously for training the way I do now then. Where would I be now if I trained then the way I do now? I don't know. I don't have regrets in that sense. You tried a bunch of different things, but you should learn, and you should have more information. You should have, better footing, and have acquired information that would have benefited you in the past. And if that's the case, good. Then you've become an adult, and you've learned, and you have wisdom and perspective. If you're doing the same stupid shit, then, well, you're retarded, and you like staying retarded. Okay. Speaking of which, throwback time. There we go. All right, here we go. Whoa, shit. Look at that face. Fuck that one. Let's do this one.
Abs training for lazy women. And yes, this was a Christmas gift I received from my mum. Not only am I not a woman, I'm not lazy by any means.
What? Did you say you're not a woman? What? Well, you and your mom obviously have a strained relationship, so gives you emotional damage.
Emotional damage!
All right.
I swam a 5K race just a few months ago. Thanks, fatphobic Santa.
What does swimming have to do with you being obese? Swimming, it's pure buoyancy. For anyone that doesn't know, being fat benefits you as a swimmer. It's easier for you to float, okay? You're a human buoy. All right, fam. That's all we got for today. We still got some of you watching. By the way, today, I don't know if I have an image. Do I have an image? Where's the goat? Let's put the goat on the screen. Fam, let's just put her right there. There's the late, great Papa Swole, the absolute legend. Just so you guys know, today is a year. It's a year since Papa Swole passed. It's been a year. Aww. A year. It's been a year. We missed the pup. So today marks a year. Yeah, today marks a year. And you know what I thought was really cute or really cool? Because you guys know we have some Papa Swole merch. We have Papa Swole merch. And, you know, we don't sell a ton of that design because I don't wear it. I don't promote it. It's old school. And today, on the day it was a year, someone in the UK got a mug that had Papa Swole on it. So I thought of all the days for someone to purchase some Papa Swole merch, yeah, today. So I thought that was cool. I just happened to notice. So the mugs are cute. Yeah, the Papa Swole merch. Such a good biche. So I like to think that maybe Papa Swole is reincarnated and someone in the UK has a puppy and it's Papa Swole reborn. And then she saw this and she's like, oh my God, that looks just like my dog. And it's Papa Swole. Yeah, so I thought that was cool. Of all the things, of all the days for someone to buy Papa Swole merch. Yeah, maybe those maybe those crumpet eating motherfuckers, maybe they're not that bad. Those crumpeters must have been from Scotland. Anyway, so I missed the beach. Yeah, look at that. Oh, Papa Swole pictures. Yeah, there we go. There she is, running to get some beefs. What else do I got here? What else I got here? Oh no, that was a sad one. That was the last day. This is, you know, I wouldn't say it's not the last picture, but it was the last picture of all of them together. This is the last picture of all three of them together. So, yeah. Yeah. Good beach. Yeah, I like that picture. That's the last picture. The last picture of all of them. That was like 4 o'clock, and then we let her go at like 6:30 or 7. So, oh, it was around this time, 7 o'clock. It was literally like to the time. Yeah, Papa Swole. What a good girl. And that's just for context too. Like anyone that maybe is relatively new to the show, that's what that is. So that's her as a regal biche. Yeah. So anyway, miss my girl, but I do have the Pinkston. the Pinkston, the Tainty Man. So they've been holding down the fort. And Pinkston is very similar. Papa Swole, they're very similar. So I'm glad they had like 3 years together. So she got a lot of the habits. And the Chihuahua was much stronger in Papa Swole than I realized, because Pinkston is pure Chihuahua and they're like identical dogs. So same habits. Like she goes and she lays in the same spot that she used to lay, and she has similar mannerisms. So it's been good in healing and missing that beach, but Papa Swole lives on. Papa Swole lives on the podcast. She does.
I gave it a.
She does. She does. All right, go appreciate your pups. Maybe we need some new merch. We need some merch with like all three of them, right? Maybe her as like an angel, like a glow in the background. Maybe we'll do something with that picture. Or maybe we'll combine the first one. We need to get an updated picture. Anyway, fam, I gotta go. I need to I had supper before, or we had dinner, and now we're having supper. You know, it's like eating like a fucking hobbit over here, but it's time to go make those gains. We'll see you tomorrow. Be there, be here, come make some gains. I kind of like the evening Swole a little bit because it's getting darker outside, especially when the time change in the earlier evening. I kind of like the 5-6 o'clock time frame. So anyway, you'll get a Swole text, you get a notification. Thanks for being here. Congratulations to the winner of the card. Get Swole. Who won today? Let's see. Who won today? Lacey won. So congratulations, Lacey. That's right. And send us that email. We'll see you tomorrow for 3471. Peace, McGee's, Deuce Magoose. Your boy, Papa Swole. Out.
Crazy flow, need a straight jacket. Cash flow, I'm a bank addict. 6 subs, had the bass smacking. 808, had the place clapping. 3 girls is enough for me, so I pull out like the stock crashing, like an IPO trying to purchase me. This a private sector, so you can't have it. Faking all that boom bapping. Who you think you is, boy? 90s want they sound back, so I give rap all these fake rappers as I take matters in my own hands. I don't need rapping, I don't need Zans. I don't need help, I'm a grown man. Now they can't laugh and they so mad.